What's going on, Arizona? This is Gavin from Soundphoria, and I'm hanging out with none other than Tommy Gibbons. What's up, Tommy?
What is up?
Chilling, man. So, dude, you've done a lot around the music scene. I know you've got a tour coming up with Flaw.
Yep. March 27th with actually Phoenix Boys Co-op and The Crown from Austin, or I want to say Houston or Austin, Texas.
All right. Right on, man. Then how many dates were you guys heading to?
I think the run is about 2.5 weeks, and we're just hitting like Missouri, Michigan, that whole area.
Sure.
And it's a shorter run, which works out great because we have to take some time off working on the new record. Yes.
Nice.
So I'm stoked for that.
Nice. And where are you guys going to be recording that?
We're actually doing the pre-pro. We're doing the whole record at my studio, KMS Studios.
Okay.
It just makes sense. It's a private area.
For sure.
And it works for me too because it's my home.
Absolutely. Plus, being Phoenix is your hometown. Actually, I had some questions too. You've been in the scene for a long time.
Yeah.
What have you seen change in the last few years? Like, what are your thoughts on the evolution of the current rock metal scene?
We're talking strictly just here.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, I don't mean to dog the scene in any way because this is my home and I
Sure.
love it here and I'll always support it here. But I kind of feel like it's become cliquey.
Sure.
And somewhat divided. Now, I will say it's better now than it was like a couple years ago.
Sure.
Like what you guys are doing, I think is really cool.
Thank you.
Trying to bring the scene together. So I see that it's trying to come together, and now that there's more venues to play, I think that that helps. But I still see it's still a little cliquey, especially compared to the other places I played. This is definitely the most divided.
Yeah. I hear you. Try to make everybody happy on these things with the videos too.
Right. And then
I hear
you're never going to make
Yeah, you
everybody
can't.
happy.
Right. No, I know.
It's just how it is.
So, and playing around town too. Like, did you have a particular favorite venue or?
Joe's Grotto was always
Right.
a favorite of mine.
I hear you.
What's up, Joe?
Right.
And it's to me, it's become like a staple here almost. It's one of those places. Like I would compare it to like the Machine Shop, the whiskey. Like
Absolutely.
I would put it at that
Absolutely.
that high up now because it's been around forever, and I think he's done a lot to try to keep this scene going, despite what maybe some may say. He's still here.
Yeah, and exactly, and it's only gotten better there. I love how he has a second stage now.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. And I love, and like you said, he's always trying to do improvements, and
Absolutely.
I think that's great. And most venues kind of just, meh.
Sure.
Also,
one of the most down-to-earth, approachable people I've met in the music scene. Just great guy.
Absolutely. It's good to see the actual owner show up to the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's great.
Right. So, with your background, you're a hell of a musician.
Oh, thank you.
Who were your? I know we were talking earlier a little bit about grunge and whatnot, but who would you say your primary influences are?
Well, when it comes to guitar playing, I would say Buckethead.
Sure.
That guy's my hero.
Sure.
But I'm not. I try to expand myself as a musician. I'm trying to become more into songwriting and trying to improve my vocals as well. So Neil Young is a big time influence of mine, believe it or not.
Sure.
I know it's kind of a Neil Young, but Johnny Cash has always been one of my heroes.
All right.
But still metalhead at heart. Metallica always will be and always is, and was my favorite band. Always will be my favorite band.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, right on, man. So with the touring coming up, I know you're heading out to the East Coast as well. If I was actually curious if you could play with any other band, like anyone out there, if you could bring someone else on board, national, etc.
Oh, like bring somebody with us, or like us tour with like.
I'd say either or. Well,
Okay,
let's say
so
both.
if there was a band I could take with me, oh man, stylistically they probably wouldn't fit, but the talent level of this chick's voice is unbelievable. A band called Whistle from here.
Okay,
they are
familiar with them.
They are. I remember first I actually discovered them from Play-Doh.
Okay.
And hearing her voice, I'm like, why is she not bigger? come
Sure.
to find out I guess they're new, which is great. But I would love to see them go somewhere. I
Sure.
think they're talented. They seem like great people. But stylistically, I know that's a bit of a weird fit. But who cares? Be diverse. Screw it.
Absolutely. Right.
That would be a band I'd love to tour with or work with. But a band that, if I could take Flaw with somebody, oh my God. I mean, I just told you Metallica's my favorite band.
Sure.
Wouldn't that be great? But I think stylistically, I think like if you put a song with like a Breaking Benjamin or like a Five Finger Death Punch,
Sure.
I think that'd be awesome. Or even like a Hell Yeah. I would love to do something like that. Run with them.
Absolutely. Right on, man. So what was it like, the transition going from playing locally to then, becoming a national act, playing around?
It was actually quite the change.
Sure.
I mean, you go from, with local bands, you got to bust your ass to sell tickets. Maybe if you're lucky, you'll get paid.
Sure.
And you don't always get treated the best. You got to throw and go, and dealing with promoters can be sometimes tough and whatnot. So jumping from that, I still had like that local mentality,
Sure.
which is nothing wrong with that, by the way. That hardworking, go-getting attitude. Even then transitioning into a national act, I'm not saying you don't have to work as hard. You actually have to work just as hard, if not harder. But there's a lot of things that does make it a little bit easier. I mean, the fact that now I can do this and still pay my bills, take care of my kid.
Sure.
And, actually getting paid to do this it feels great. It's awesome. Not having to rush, set up. You got 5 minutes to set up and you get some half-ass sound check. That feels
Absolutely.
nice. And to just travel and to be at a different place every day. Wake up and be like, oh, wow, we're here. We're in Seattle, Washington. We're in Portland, Oregon. Now we're in Spearfish, South Dakota.
Sure.
So to be in different places is really cool, and I love it. I wouldn't trade that feeling for anything. And it's a big reason why we kind of talked about this earlier, that
Sure.
I felt like I kind of took the scene for granted when I was younger. And what I mean by that is I felt like I was in such a hurry to just keep moving up and keep moving forward and just to get out of here, that I kind of didn't, not to say I didn't care about it here, but I just was kind of like, well, whatever it takes, I just want to get there. I want to get to that next level.
I hear you.
And I wish now, like looking back, I wish there was like more I could have done here first, then,
Sure.
move up.
So I know you said you've played in 48 states, if I'm not mistaken.
I think, yeah, well, after this summer run we do, it will be 48. I've been to 48 states.
There a city or town that you haven't played yet that you really want to?
I'm really looking forward to hitting Massachusetts. I mean, my dad has a lot of family there, so I have a lot of family there. And
Cool.
they've never really get to see me play on a stage, so I think that'd be a really cool moment.
Sure.
And always good to see family. So Massachusetts is a big one. Let's see if there's anything else. I think that, that's about it. That Massachusetts, New York, I haven't really got to play much in. So, and I know the music scene's pretty hopping there.
Oh, yeah.
So that I'm looking forward to.
Right. Dingbats, St. Vitus Bar in Brooklyn. It's awesome.
I played Dingbats. I love it there. That place
Sure.
is so much fun. It is like, and then like right across the street they have that other bar, Dingo's, whatever, and
Sure.
we always go there afterwards. They hang out. It's good stuff. Good stuff. I love it there.
The Knitting Factory. It's another good spot over there.
Knitting Factory. Yep.
Absolutely. Man, I miss it. I moved out from the East Coast 6 years ago. But yeah, it's good back there. Club Revolution. You guys are heading over there, Amityville on Long Island.
Yeah, during the summer run. Yes,
Okay.
we are. And
Very cool.
That will be cool. Plus, Amityville. I got to check out the Amityville horror site and all that stuff.
And when you go through it too, it's like super nice neighborhood.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I kind of figured that's how it would be. Like,
Yeah.
that only makes sense. It can't be all dreary and dark looking.
North Amityville, it's a little different up there. but
Right.
No offense to anyone watching this.
Sorry.
Right? From Long Island. But so I mean, not to sound cliche, but really, man, like you're living the dream. Like you're getting to make a living with playing music. You're entertaining people, inspiring people. What advice could you give to the local younger musician, like that 18 to like 22-year-old kid that is, even like the kid that's in high school that like they have those dreams.
Well,
what should they do that maybe other musicians are missing?
And my answer is going to sound really cliche, but this is the truth, and it's the number one thing. Don't give up.
Sure.
And I say that, and people are like, "Oh, that's a typical answer," but I mean that because there was moments where I wanted to throw in the towel.
Sure.
And I didn't because one, this is all I really know how to do, but two, you want something that bad, you're going to do whatever it takes to get it. And I'm glad you asked this question for the younger generation because I feel like the younger people don't have that same mentality.
Sure.
They don't have that go get them, I'm never going to give up attitude. Something doesn't go their way, they're willing to throw in the towel. And I think that's crap. That is complete crap because there's also a lot of younger talented people that have just as much skill as, people older or people of the previous generation. And I see that as a waste. And that's a shame. If you just tough it out and stick through it, you will be surprised with the results. Case in point, not saying, you say I'm living the dream, I'm making a living. I'm still not where I want to be.
Sure.
And I don't know if I ever will be, but I'm in a good place right now. You're right. But I'm still reaching that, I guess you can say, brass ring. And I'm always going to be going after that. And I think a lot of the problems with not just younger local bands, but even some bands in general, they get to a point where they feel comfortable. And you should never, ever feel comfortable. You should never feel satisfied, or you should never feel like, oh, this is it.
Sure.
You should always be wanting more.
And right, there's no finish line. To paraphrase Aristotle, he says excellence is the actual habit, the act. It's not the, again, paraphrasing, but it's not the finish line.
There is no finish line in this business.
Mm-hmm.
The only way the only way to the finish line is the day you say I quit.
Sure.
And then that's on you.
I hear you. Yeah. What really? When did you have that moment when you were younger? Did you have that moment where you're watching that one music video, or you saw something that just told you like, "Hey, this is what I want to do"?
It was my dad took me out. I think I was only 7 or 8 years old actually.
Sure.
He took me out to go. It was the G3 tour. It was Satriani, Petrucci, and Vi.
Holy moly!
And it was at the Celebrity Theater, and it was during Satch's set where I was like, I want that.
Sure.
And it's hard to take an 8-year-old serious because it's like you're 8, but I never stopped wanting that. That was the moment where I'm like, I'm gonna do what he's doing.
That's so awesome.
And I stuck to my guns, And again, like I said, there were moments in my career where I'm like, I can't. I don't know how long I can do this. What am I doing? But I just kept plugging away.
Any advice for other for like younger musicians too on like getting over that self-doubt?
You just, as hard as it sounds, you just got to tell yourself, no, I can get through this. And there are going to be moments where no one's going to have your back on it either.
Sure.
I have actually been privileged enough to where I have a lot of people that support me and they won't let me quit. But not everyone has that, Use that fuel though. Like if people say, "Dude, you just give up, you're not going anywhere." Use that fuel to prove them wrong. Because to me, that's a great feeling, proving someone wrong, shutting them up.
Absolutely.
So any moment of self-doubt, or if you reach a point where you're like, I don't know if I can do this, and people are telling you that you can't do this, work harder.
Sure.
Work harder to prove them wrong and to prove yourself right that you can do this.
I hear you, man.
That to me is the best advice I can get, because I've had a handful of doubters.
Sure.
I've been called, when I was younger coming up, I got endorsements at a young age. I won a lot of guitar competitions, and I got the whole, your daddy's band, daddy's helping you out. And my dad is a big supporter of mine. I love him to death for it. My parents in general are just they're a great supporter.
Which is awesome.
And my response was, well, I'm sorry that your parents or your friends didn't back you up the way mine did.
Sure.
So don't ever accuse them, don't ever blame them, or don't ever
man.
lump them into like, oh, this is daddy's band. You would be nowhere without them. Part of that might be true. I will say that. But my dad didn't force a guitar down my throat.
Right. Didn't force you to shred.
I made that decision. So.
I hear you. So, and also I appreciate you being on.
Well, I appreciate what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
I think this is a great thing. You're trying to bring the scene together. I think that's awesome.
Thank you. I know. So you've got the YouTube channel.
Super Shredder.
Yes.
Super Shredder Tommy.
Right. We'll drop the URL over here, and Yeah, no, it was really cool, man. I was checking that out.
Thank you. And I will be trying to. It's hard for me to keep up with the content on it. I know I'm a bit behind, but touring a lot, like with Flaw, I tour 9 months out of the year.
Oh yeah.
Much. So, but I'm gonna try harder between breaks. I am working on the top 10 new metal bands part 2 because I know part 1 there was a lot. I got the whole why did you put this band on there? Why wasn't Flaw on there? Well, part 2's coming.
Sure.
I'll be working on that, and I'll be working on I'm going to do a cover remake of a song, and I'm going to post some more originals, of course. So
nice.
There's that coming up. So I will be busy.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Many good things on the horizon.
Absolutely. And of course, Flaw, we got the run with Co-op coming up, and then we got the run with Smile Empty Soul during the summer, which I'm super pumped about.
Awesome.
That's going to be a blast. So plenty of things.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks again for being on. We appreciate it. And then everyone, thanks for checking out the video. So stay tuned. We'll have some more updates coming, and check out this link to Tommy Gibbons' YouTube page as well, and what's coming up soon from Flaw. Support local music.
Yeah.